Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we are doing the Berlanga versus Sheeraz recap, as Edgar Berlanga, former world title challenger, took on Hamza Sheeraz, another former world title challenger, in a super middleweight contest that main evented the Saturday, July 12th DAZN pay-per-view card. Now, before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So this fight, it was funny. I was surprised at how even this fight was being scored. I felt like skills-wise going in, Sheeraz was the much more skilled fighter. I felt like the weight was going to benefit him. I really believed in the reasoning for why he didn't look good against Carlos Adames, because he had just destroyed his previous three opponents. Dominated and looked really good. I felt like the weight was an issue, and that's why he didn't take the rematch, or even push for a rematch, or even stay at middleweight. So I was a big believer in all that stuff. It made sense to me. I've questioned Edgar Berlanga from day one. How good is he really? Even when he was knocking people out in the first round on ESPN Top Rank cards. I question, how good is this guy? We don't know. And so I wasn't overly surprised that Sheeraz had the skill advantage, but man, I was surprised at the final result, that it ended as fast as it did, because Berlanga just, he tried. He did the best he could, but he could not get around the jab and the power punching of Hamza Sheeraz. You could tell he felt it early, and then he felt it often. And Sheeraz just carved him to shreds. I mean, Berlanga, I like the guy. He's solid, decent fighter, but skill for skill, he was out of his depth, out of his range, out of his league. And Hamza Sheeraz has made a fucking very clear statement in the super middleweight division and the boxing again, because remember, he was rolling last year. Destroyed Liam Williams, gained veteran, destroyed him in one round. He knocked Williams down on his first punch. And Liam Williams is a guy that went toe-to-toe with Liam Smith and fucking Demetrius Andrade before. Former world title challenger, and he just decimated him. Then he did Austin Williams, who's a good undefeated middleweight. He outclassed him and outworked him and stopped them in the late rounds of a battle of undefeated middleweights. Then destroyed Tyler Denny, who had upset another Liam Walsh, I think. Another another middleweight that was on the rise, that was undefeated from the UK, and getting, a little bit of love on the rise. And he had upset that guy, and then stepped in against Sheeraz, and Sheeraz destroyed Tyler Denny in just 2 rounds. So he was on the warpath going into that fight with Adames. And yeah, he didn't look good. He didn't. We didn't see that killer instinct. He was just pecking away with the jab, and the fight ended in a draw. A lot of people thought he lost the fight. But, I really, I'll repeat myself. I really attributed that to the weight cut, because normally when a fighter feels like he didn't lose a fight, or he's displeased with his performance, he will automatically go for a rematch. If he can't get a rematch, he'll get a #1 contenders bout. Sheeraz has a solid-ass name at middleweight, because there's not a lot of big names there, and he's got Turki Al-Sheikh's backing and support. So I really believe Sheeraz would have pushed for a rematch or a mandatory shot at Adames and stayed at middleweight at least to move himself in line, or go in against Janabek Alamanhalai, the unified champ, if he really believed that he that middleweight was the right fit. But he went straight away from that and decided to move up to super middle and go after a guy who went 12 hard rounds with Canelo last year in Edgar Berlanga. So I really gave Sheeraz a lot of props, but I was like, this dude really believes that it was the weight and that affected him. And he's moving up to make a statement now, taking on a guy like Sheeraz. A guy like Berlanga. And what a fucking statement. He blasted Berlanga, knocked him out impressively, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Hamza Sheeraz does next, because I think now he's the WBO interim champ. So at some point he'll get a title shot, but at the very least he's going to get some of the bigger names at super middleweight to give him a crack and give him a shot. So we'll see what happens. But for Edgar Berlanga, tough break. Hard to see or predict where he's going to go and what he's going to do next following that performance. That was a tough loss, and we just got to wait and see what happens. But that is it. That is what I got. That is my Berlanga versus Sheeraz recap as they collided in the main event of a DAZN pay-per-view card, and Hamza Sheeraz showed out in that fight. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing, and you've been hit with the truth.